this will be the first ever Hug Yourself and Love Yourself project. I'm so excited. Hug Yourself and Love Yourself is my brand. It just got up and running, and today we are just here to kind of show you the vibe and the essence behind it. So, Fadra, if you want to start by introducing yourself.
Period. Well, thank you, Queen, for doing this. This is gorgeous. My name is Fadra Malika Delane. I'm CEO of Fun Fit Fabulous and College Prep for Success, and I'm just so happy to be here. I'm loving the vibes and can't wait to get into it.
Hey y'all, my name is Kai, founder and CEO of Wristed by K, and recent college graduate. Okay. Yes, there is. I'm just happy to be here with Hug Yourself and Love Yourself. Thank you, Alyssa, for having me. And putting all this together is so beautiful.
So
I
beautiful.
Can't wait.
Hey everybody, my name is Heeey Delane. I am the founder and CEO of Get Locked, which is a hair service company, and I am a senior in high school still, but like everyone said, thank you so much for having me, Alyssa. It's so beautiful. I'm loving the energy and vibes already, and hug yourself, love yourself.
Peace, everyone. I'm Mama Neen, and I'm here with the girls today. We're gonna have a beautiful experience, and we can't wait to get into it.
Yeah. Okay, y'all. Well, thank you guys for joining me. You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little nervous because this is like my first time just kind of hosting my own thing. So I just want to thank you guys for being a part of it. I feel the love, I feel the support, and that means a lot to me. Shout out to the cameraman, Sajad. He's about to work magic and just be here in love and support, so I appreciate you. The essence behind this paint and grow session is to just self-digress. This is going to be a whole ladies vibe, girl talk. We're just going to kind of dive into it. I started off by writing everybody kind of just like their own sweet letter, just kind of personalized to just show my appreciation. And you guys just want to start by opening those up. And today in our paint kits, we have 4 paint brushes. We Hug Yourself and Love Yourself exclusive sticker. And we have 12 colors of paint and our canvas. And on the table, we have some crystals. Different meanings behind them. There's some concentration crystals, some energy crystals, love crystals, flowers, and butterflies, and our tea.
Yes. I love you. I love you guys. Look, toast to this. Sister love. I'm crying in the club.
So yes, y'all, we can just dive into it now. So beautiful. Everyone. Thank you.
It's a packaging for me.
It's the packaging.
It's a deep.
Diving into the new year, there have been a lot of new goals that we want to reach, and I feel like today is a good time to paint about peace. Let's all think about what makes us feel at peace, what makes us relaxed, and just mindful of ourselves and the things around us. And whatever resonates with you, paint it. For me, I'm not always big on expressing myself through words. So for me, painting is a way to express without words, without having to over-explain. It's just kind of like, you just put whatever on a canvas and it works for you.
And I definitely like too with art in general, like everyone has their own interpretation of, you know, what they take from their own piece. So like, you know, even though of course the artists themselves has a meaning behind their own piece, but somebody looking at it, they can still interpret it a whole different way.
I don't know, just something so beautiful behind like artwork.
Like the abstract art,
Yeah.
like the person creating it, it's like you never know kind of what they were feeling or thinking to make it, but like when you see it, you can see butterflies, you can see a tree, you can see a building, and someone else can see a whole waterfall. So yeah, things like that is so beautiful. I do feel like painting is a good way to express, and girl, just feel free.
Freedom!
Okay.
We's gonna be free.
So I really do like finger painting. So if any of you ladies kind of get into that, that is cool too. Like I'm probably not going to use all of my brushes, or probably any of my brushes, maybe for small detail. But I'm like more of a finger painting type of person.
Okay.
So
Get into it.
how was everybody's morning? When I know you ladies went to breakfast. How was your guys' breakfast?
I liked it. I had a great, my tummy feels good, so. I definitely woke up excited,
Yes.
okay, to get this going.
What about you? How was your money?
It was good. Honestly, it was a little hectic because I was looking for my wallet and couldn't find it, and then come to find out it was right in my face the whole time on the little dresser. So, what about you, Queen Mama? How was your morning?
I slept with those blinders on.
Oh, okay.
So I just kept waking up
Boy,
And
she
then I
tried
said,
it
why
once.
do we gotta wear them right now? So I put them back on.
Yeah.
She tried it once
So
and they never
basically,
went
I
back.
got up at lunch.
I know that's right. Sleep is good for the
Welcome
mind.
to my world. Now you see why. Now you see why we cooped up in the bed sometimes.
Your time where you're not thinking about, you know, the next, or, you know, stuff that you have to do, or, you know, what the next step is. It's literally your body's resting. So
Yes.
I think people kind of overlook it. And I think it's important that some days people do take those days just to sleep in and just relax, because we're so caught up in like every day it has to be like waking up, you know, like 6 o'clock to be on your grind every single day. And of course, yes, you want to be on hustle mode, but you know, it's okay to have your personal days where you're like, you know what, I've been working pretty hard recently. Let me take this personal day and just relax.
So far, what's kind of everybody's vibe with this peace thing? Are you guys feeling like some type of vibe coming to you, or is it kind of just flowing and then let it just be whatever comes?
Yeah, for me, I think it's more so just flowing. I don't know. That's just sort of who I am, I think, as a person anyway. Sort of more just try to go with the flow, because whenever I plan something, it just always seems to not go as planned. So I'm more so of a just go with life, you know, because that's all you can really do is just adjust on the spot. So that's what I like to do. And I think, especially when it comes to painting, because I like to paint, but I feel like some of the best pieces or beautiful pieces from me is when I sort of just let my mind just do whatever. You know, I go on. But you know, some people can plan stuff out and it works better for them. So I just feel like it depends on the person.
Like, it's interesting because I'm a planner. Like, I like to plan so that I kind of know my direction.
Yeah.
But I'm the same way where
At times it's like, I don't even have a plan. I'm just trying to flow, because it's like I don't want to get too caught up on like this is how it is, then get let down if it doesn't go that exact way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely feel like there's kind of that balance, which is nice.
I love it. I think even when it comes to painting, for me, it's like one of those places where I can just flow and I don't have to necessarily have the whole directions right. So part of me, my piece is too, is just being able to flow without having a certain direction that I honor with painting. Where, because my life, you know, for the most part, you know, does have structure. So this is a great thing for me just to like release that and be able to be free. Me and Alyssa, we were just talking, and I'm trying to tell you, it was one of the days I needed. I have not painted since I think I was really a kid, because I really haven't took art until, actually I did in 9th grade, but it was like, you know, not like free art type stuff. But the last time I ever been painting was when I was younger. So like for me, it just took me back to a piece and just, you know, allowed me to free flow, and just whatever Alyssa was going through too, you know, we were able to get our sister talking just unapologetically, authentically, and have a good time painting. So to me, it was so therapeutic, authentic, and just, I think, a great way just to be there for each other, because we weren't rushing each other. You know, we were literally just there all day. And, you know, literally all day and night, and still, and at night we were still talking. But, you know, I just feel like painting opens up this beautiful avenue for that. And like, it was beautiful to see that you took what I was saying to heart too, because like you ended up putting that on your painting.
Right.
What I was like,
I have work to do.
Period.
Yes.
And as we all do, but like just to see, you know, me just giving like, you know, say this to yourself, and the fact that you really implemented that,
Yes.
that was beautiful.
No, you know what? And I really appreciate, first of all, I appreciate everybody, because it's just like this is what's needed, is the support. So it's like, even though we are painting and this kind of just like lets our bodies kind of cool down and relax, it's still like we're here for each other.
And I think that was really big that day, is I was really able to like get to know you on a deeper level and kind of know your story. And it was just like, I was so happy to see that other side of you, because you know, on the outside, it just seems like, okay, look, Bobby don't need no help. She got a plan. She knows what's going on. It's like, no, there are times to like
Talk to your sisters and talk to your loved ones around you and be like, so what's really going on? Like, just talk to me. You know, I'm not here to fix your problems. I'm just here to listen. And in the meantime, like, let's just paint. You know, so it's still that vibe, but it's also that, like, no, let's get deep.
Yeah.
So that's really what I appreciate about this session in particular, is that, you know, we're just here for each other, and you guys are here for me. What about you, Kai? How you doing over there, girl? How you feeling?
Girl, I'm feeling good. Just trying to think about like what brings me peace, or like the times where I feel most peaceful. And I guess it's a little difficult, but it's like I'm just trying to think of all the things that I do and figure out where in there is a peace.
Right.
So it's a process, but
Okay.
I feel like that's life. Life is a process.
Is there anything that comes into mind in particular, like a certain like event or space that you put yourself in?
I feel like when and it can just be really something small, doing something for myself, whether it's, because you know, like, if your area and your space is like not clean, and you clean up and you like feel better, and you feel like you have a peace of mind, like that's kind of like the things that I do. Like, I'm constantly cleaning up because I'm like, this is something that makes me feel good. I feel like peaceful, like I feel like my life is in order, stuff like that. You know, whether it's self-care, getting my nails done or whatever. So it's just like, just finding peace in the small things during this time, because I feel like this time can just be stressful for a lot of people.
That's really beautiful, and you know what? I can relate to that so much. There's times when I'm feeling so frantic, and then I just start cleaning, you know, and it makes me feel good. It's relaxing to me to kind of know like things are getting picked up and putting back, and then it makes me feel like, okay, I'm picking myself and putting myself back on, you know, my tracks. And you know what's interesting is kind of going through this process of like, you know, putting paint kits together and kind of getting my business up and running. I find myself being so messy with it that it's like I almost like it in a way where it's like, you know, I want the paint little bottles or whatever to be all over, so I can just see color everywhere and just like see the canvases all out. And it's just like sometimes when the mess is everywhere, but it can be colorful mess, or it can be stuff that you like, you know, that's kind of fun to see sometimes too.
That's good. How was it, you know, manifesting for you? What was that process like?
It was like kind of a weird experience because it happened so fast. Because literally, it started that day, the day that we painted. You came home with the canvases the next day, and
they were on sale.
It blew my mind like that.
The universe.
Yeah, seriously. Like, it's so hard for me to even put in words right now because I was just so excited, and I felt so loved and just thought of, and like, I feel like I'm about to cry right now because it's like that really made me feel so good. Like, I didn't even realize like, I know it was possible. It was kind of like one of those things like, okay, this is fun, but it's like how to set it up, how to kind of get other girls involved. Like, I don't even know. You know, this is just kind of just things that I just do on a regular. So to see the canvases in person and then know that I had the support, you know, of my other mom to really be like, okay, nah, like, we're doing this. You know, I want to say that, like, when it really dawned on me that, like, okay, the manifestation is real, is how we were kind of talking right before you left that last time. Like, you just got to show up for yourself and do it. You know, so when I was like making the list of like, okay, these are the steps I got to do to actually complete the kit. And then once I started knocking those steps out, it was like, you know, manifestation and just getting things done is not as hard as it seems. You know what you have to do, so just do it. You know, but when you kind of play around with yourself, like, oh, I gotta order paint, but then you wait until the last minute to order some paint, and then you not shipping out kits, and you're not making the video so you even let people know you're trying to do it. It's like, that's when it's like, you're not even really trying to manifest. That was one thing that during the process I just realized, like, no, it's me. Like, I gotta show up for myself, and then everything else will kind of just fall into play how it needs to.
And like, you know that saying, I don't know if you guys know, I mean, you guys probably heard that before, but like, that's half the step. You know, you just being serious about it, the universe and people around will definitely get in line to help make that vision come true. But if you're kind of discombobulated inside, people won't know how to pick up your energy. I'm so proud of you, Queen, for doing this. And like I said, I didn't even know, like, that day was so healing for me. And that's crazy. Like, how in the world I didn't paint like this since I was a kid. And it'd be one of the most beautiful things that I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I feel so good after. So I'm excited for the new girls, too, to get to try this. Because when I tell y'all, it just really does something to your soul in a positive manner. Like, we all need to just take some time out. And then I wasn't even on my phone too. That was another thing. Like, I didn't even think about my phone. Usually when you're doing something, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to get on my phone. Girl, I was not even thinking about the phone. So
No, thank you. And that's the best part too, is like I feel like sometimes the phones become such a distraction of the things you can do to kind of ease yourself. You know, like sometimes we'll feel not so good or we'll feel bored or drained. Like, let me just hop on Instagram real quick. Let me just watch a video. But it's just like that can become draining too, because it's just too much, too much going on. And to kind of go back of what you were saying of, you haven't painted since you were young, I feel like that's for a lot of people now. And I think they may look at it as like a childish thing at times, just to kind of free paint. But Sajad brought a really good point up of the word just childish. Some people may have like a negative connotation to it, but really, like, if you think of a child or a young kid, a young person, it's so pure. Like, they're so pure, and they just like, they're just living in this like life of fun and bubbles and just color. They don't really know what's going on the outside. So it's like to kind of bring yourself back. To kind of bring yourself back to that like childlike, like, ooh, we get to like paint. It's so fun, and it's like such a pure experience. So.
And just like it's great just to get those ideas running, because as a kid, that idea of dreaming big and just anything's possible definitely becomes an outlet. So I love tapping into this energy, because it reminds me of those things where anything is possible, and if I want to do it, if I want to make it happen, I'm gonna make it happen.
Well, let me ask you a question, Barbara. Before you did kind of dive back into the painting with me that day, up until that point, like, what would you do for yourself when you were kind of feeling like flustered or feeling just like I need some time to myself to just like relax?
I would just really, I'm not a big old cleaning person and cooking person at all. At all. I'm not even gonna act like I am, but I have started incorporating that in my life. I have my own place, so I'm figuring out, okay, well, like sometimes I'm feeling scattered. I'm okay, well, maybe let me clean up, or let me buy some candles. So I've been getting into candles, like just sitting in my room, having it lit up, and the smell coming through, and then my place being clean. Like, I did not know how amazing that made me feel. But sometimes I just sit in the bed, and also too, like, me thinking about my business, Fun Fit Fabulous, because like Fun Fit Fabulous is really my baby. I have College Prep for Success, but that's great too. But Fun Fit Fabulous, I would say, has been there for a very long time in my life. And just that makes me at peace, because I truly believe in what I'm doing. I'm just a naturally inspired person. I dream big, and I believe in living in God's glory. It's all about action and believing in yourself. I always say, if you believe it, you can achieve it. So just me being at peace with that and seeing like how can I contribute more to my business. But if I don't want to think about anything, I would like to just rest in my bed and maybe watch a movie. Watch some shows, catch up on that type of stuff. But I also like to create. So before I did the painting, I just recently started my own personal YouTube and stuff like that. But sometimes I like to just talk to people or create. That's also too what's bringing me peace. Like, me even starting the YouTube and being connected on social media, it was really just for me, because I do feel at peace with that. I feel like I have a lot of things to share.
That's really beautiful. So when you first started your YouTube, what was kind of your idea of what kind of videos you wanted to make?
My thing was, it took me a while to be, I think the term is confident. I felt like I've always had some type of confidence, but I kind of shelled in, I would have to admit, when I started college, because Instagram was new. I actually got on the Instagram scene very late. It took me a while, and then I was just battling a lot of stuff. I'm just, like I said, I'm more inspirational. I love stories. I love people overcoming obstacles and stuff like that. But I just kind of didn't see that around from my peers. I didn't see people keeping it real. So I just felt like, where's the market? Nobody wants to hear about that type of stuff. So I just kind of was in a confused state. So I just let it go. I was just like, I can't do this right now. And I was doing college was a lot for me too, because it just wasn't a good time. But right when I graduated, I'm working at Bloomberg at the moment, and I'm just becoming such more of a confident person in who I am and who God created me to be, where I just sometimes didn't know who I was, because my life is very different from my peers and people around me. So sometimes I like, think about myself, like I don't know who I am. And sometimes I'm like, well, people won't understand it because they don't know my life. So I'm like, why share it? But, people can pick up on a lot of things from my life, So I feel like my life isn't an orthodox one, but that doesn't mean I can't share or give advice, or just be who I am. So I just stopped deciding to care about what people thought about me and what I was creating and just doing it, because at the end of the day, a lot of people are not where I'm at. So it's like if I'm carrying all this energy of not creating and being who I want to be because they won't understand it, it's like they're not with me on these new journeys. So it's just like I just got to be confident in doing what I feel. So I just feel like I'm in a place now where I'm just more confident.
Okay.
And I just feel like that's what's kind of making the biggest difference, in my whole life.
Oh my gosh, no, I love that. I thank you for sharing. No, I absolutely love that. With me, I think we were talking about confidence that last time painting. I feel like for me, that's something that, I battle because I just go back and forth with myself on like, what to share, what I'm good at, or what I'm just like, I'm not that great, or, beauty, or just whatever it is. All of you, I want to know your guys' take on this. So I broke down this thing of what I think builds confidence. So first, I feel like it starts with self-love. But with self-love, you have to have accountability, acknowledgement for yourself and, your actions. And then with that, acceptance. And then you take action. I feel like that'll build your confidence up. And like, what is your guys' take on that? Like, do you feel like to build your guys' confidence or how you build your confidence, do you feel like those are kind of steps that you've taken?
I mean, I guess maybe everybody comes into the world with their own level of confidence, right? Some kids are just, and then some kids are, different ways and stuff. And I guess it's just important to tap into what you're good at or your strengths and start building you up around those things, right? Because like somebody could be real introverted and not, showing all this boisterous type of personality amongst other kids or whatever, but maybe they're good at art or whatever they're doing, right? So somebody to say, you're really good at that. And so then that makes them feel confident a little ways, or they're maybe really good at math, or they're really good at something, science, or whatever. So maybe a teacher can help zone in on something, but a lot of little things start with those little things, you know what I mean? And so for everybody it's different, you know what I mean? And then but those little things that come in, to start making you feel, valuable, right? And so that first kind of, like I said, starts with how the adults around you, family and extended family, friends and community, respond to you in a certain type of way. Now, some kids have a better experience with that as a younger person than other people. Sometimes kids don't have people around them to start that space for them, right? So that's an issue, or it could be an issue. But then there's some kids that don't have any support and they still feel like, they just real boisterous. So you never know, right? But then I think even with all of that innocence, at some point, by the time you hit puberty and different changes, even all that confidence could then still disappear because you're not sure, you still come into another phase of life and trying to discover yourself, and now you're really probably looking at yourself in comparison to other people. So then you got to start all over again. So I kind of think confidence is not just a one-time thing. I think it's something you constantly develop in new spaces of your life. You know what I'm saying? So childhood confidence, and then you got teenage confidence, and then you got, that young adult confidence. So it goes in different phases, right? Women are transitioning, then you get into marriage, then you gotta get marriage confidence, and then you gotta have confidence as a parent, confidence as a wife, you know what I mean? And then, so you constantly going through different phases. So it's not just a one time, I think, because that's why you can have somebody who had such a greatness at one part of their life, and then at another part of their life, you're like, what happened? I just knew you would be, you know what I mean? Because that confidence fell somewhere, right? When they entered the new phase. And then it's the experience that also builds confidence, because when you overcome through things, that makes you more stronger, because it becomes that thing of not just what you believe, but it's what you know, and when you know things, whatever it is, you know what I mean? When I know how to make my first egg sandwich, whatever, when you're a kid or whatever, that's what you know what I mean? You're very confident about those things, you know what I mean? So again, you take those different knowings at different, in your different phases. As children, it could have been as simple as finally learn how to do the dishes with the rest of the kids and being on schedule, feeling like a big girl or a big boy, and being able to maybe make dinner or finish a meal for your mom when she tells you, okay, I need you to cook this and get this in the oven, you know, those things. But then that type of whatever, then, you know, like I said, that builds you up for those phases. But in all these different transitional phases comes new tasks that you need to complete. And a lot of times we don't complete those tasks, so that builds the lack of confidence, probably too, because you get new assignments. So if you don't fulfill those assignments, you know what I mean, is going to be a void of lack of confidence. That's an important thing too. So in every phase of your life, you get new assignments. And you have to fulfill those assignments, just like school, like you're in school. You know, it's lessons. School is in session. You know, and it could be simple. You know, so it's moving forward. You know, with that type of energy too. You know, so and again, all those things brings you into, like I said, and if you complete your assignments, you do what you're supposed to do, then you feel good about yourself, and you feel good about what you did for the world, and then you move into your next thing. But again, it's going to be new assignments. So if you still live in that, and you can tell those things, because that's why you can meet somebody at one part of their life, and sometimes they still talking about something from 25 years ago, about when they were at a hype moment. But they ain't got nothing else hyped up, because they still living here, because they haven't been able to, you know, fulfill those assignments since that time. That's just some of the things that I think about. But I just think that confidence is something that you continuously work on. It's something that you're going to be continuously challenged with. There'll probably be a foundational part that's there, but constantly, like I said, you're going to be put in new environments, you're going to be put around new people, because as you try to elevate your circles, then you're going to get new type of energy around you, right? Other people who are successful and other people who are doing something. Then you're going to feel like a little intimidated, like, wow, everyone else is, you know, achieving and stuff. Do I really belong here? Do I really fit? You know, they've been doing this stuff for 5 years. I've just been in this for 2 months. You know what I mean? You're going to have all that battling going on in your head. You know, do I belong here? But you do belong here. You got moved into the space, right? So you have to, again, you know, have confidence and build that up, and just know that it's also universal destiny to some point too. Well, first of all, you know, Kai had fulfilled her promise, and that was her education. I was trying to think going in, okay, wait, what do I really want to get her? I couldn't figure it out all the way yet, but I just said, be patient with it. But then as soon as we did the graduation, then I remember I wanted to get her something to hold her diploma when it comes. So I went back to get that frame for her, and then that's when they had the canvases on sale that day. And I was like, that's something I gotta remember to tell Alyssa. So I took a picture of it, you know, then I went and got the frames. But then when I got to the counter, they had all these canvases on sale. I said, oh, these are such a good, you know, let me just share this with you, you know what I mean? So again, but if you wouldn't have mentioned all those things, you know, and then if I wouldn't have caught the tail end of your painting session to hear y'all talking about it. So I guess I'm just trying to say that you just have to trust that whatever you have around you is what you need. And as long as you're communicating and sharing, then people can kind of know, and then they can be on radar. You know, everybody gets on radar to help, whatever. So again, if we're not communicating with each other,
how will we know? How will we help?
And then when you get those signs of help, those are a part of our building our confidence.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because you just know, like, I'm really destined for this. And even if everybody can't understand it, it's something, these are your small miracles.
Right?
I was literally just talking to Fadra and Kai the other day, and I was like telling them, I'm really excited to share this with them, because it's like every time we, even Heeey, they collab for Fun Fit Fabulous X Rista by K, it was just like, I didn't feel left out because I was a part of it, but I felt like there's nothing that I can like bring to the table or show.
Yes, this is mine. Like, yes, I make YouTube videos, but up until that point, it wasn't consistent enough for me to like stand on that, like, okay, this is what I do. Now it's like I just feel so excited to be like, okay, I knew there was a reason why, you know, everything has played its course the way it has, because I've always felt
very comfortable here and always felt like, okay, this is the type of family I need to be around, you know, because this is like my direction I'm trying to head. It's really nice to have that support and have you think of me, you know, when I'm not around, and like really listening to what I'm saying, because a lot of times I have all these ideas.
I don't really know, like, okay, which one should I focus on right now? So once you brought those canvases home, that was like my destination of like, boom, this is what I'm focused on.
Right,
you know?
right,
But
right.
like sometimes I need that extra help, because like
I don't be knowing because I have so much in my mind that I know I'm capable of and excited about, but it's like, but what do I focus on?
And then I kind of focus here, and then like you said, the tasks never get done because I got 5 tasks I'm trying to work out, but like nothing's really getting the full attention it needs.
And that becomes accountability. That's why having a team around you is important, because everything is about accountability. Like, you might set these goals, but it's easy to just, straggle off from your goal or whatever the case is, right? Because life takes its place. That's why you try to have a trusted group of people around you, whether somebody has family or friends or whatever that little network is that, the universe puts in front of you, to be able to help hold each other accountable. And I guess as friends, we have to realize that we need to all do better to make sure, like, we hold each other accountable. You know what I mean? We hear people talking, call them back in 2 weeks. So was you able to make that happen? You know what I mean? Remind your girlfriend, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. We all have a responsibility, not just to be here for each other, but to push each other, right? Because that's a part of the love too. If I love somebody, I want to just hear you just complain all your problems and stuff. I want to make sure you're actually being accountable and you do it. I just heard you. I just sat there for an hour. You hearing you talk about all this, whatever. You know what I mean? Right. And so now, what I'm gonna do as your friend, I'm gonna make sure next week
you're good.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
That you was able to get something accomplished from that situation or whatever, right? So I think those are the type of friends we want to be, with each other, because everyone needs that. Some people might could just do it on their own or whatever, don't need, but for a majority of us, we still need motivation. Just need somebody to just remind you, about this or that, because it is so many things that has to happen, right? Some people just have one thing they're focusing on. Some people have like 5 things they gotta focus on. You know what I mean? Everybody has different assignments, but it's not to say, oh, you can't have 3 things burning in the same pot or at the same time, but it's just how you manage it and organize. And then, prioritizing and stuff like that. Because I could have came home and said, oh, they had the canvases on sale. But, the Spirit told me, bring back a pack of canvases. There can be no doubt. Everybody has to listen to the Spirit, and see what the Spirit is telling you, And some people think you crazy when you say the Spirit. Well, who the Spirit?
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. Like I said, the Spirit said. You gotta listen to the Spirit, because it be trying to talk to you, but then you don't be listening. You know what I mean? Or you hear it and don't act upon it, right?
And then that's how also to the Spirit is there, but it may be like very low because you keep denying it. It's the same thing with you not showing up for yourself. For that Spirit to be in strong, you gotta listen to it. You gotta follow through. You gotta act on it. If you don't do it, then you be like, well, that's why people are like, where's the Spirit? What are you talking about? Because you kept not listening. You kept not acting on it. So the Spirit, like, she ain't gonna do it. So it's heck of low. You're not gonna hear it. But if you start listening to the Spirit, acting on the Spirit will keep talking to you. You'll hear it right away. And that's kind of like for me. It's like, at this point, my body's in tune. Okay, God, what you say, or the Spirit, whatever. I know. People are like, how do you know that? Because I've been practicing.
Yeah, the more you honor it, the more it'll serve you.
And to go off of what you were saying, just as sisters, just as friends, holding each other accountable,
I really want to thank you, Fadra, because when we do have those talks
and you say exactly what I need to hear, like, put out the content. Like, you just need to do you and put out the content. It does kind of force me into that mode of, like,
I need to put out some content, because next time I, see Fadra, I'm not trying to be around the same conversation. Like, okay, girl, I'm going through the same thing, and putting no videos in me, because it's just like, to have you constantly having to tell me the same thing, at that point it's just kind of like, I don't even want to hear your drama no more. It's like you're saying these things to me, I'm telling you my advice, but you're still not taking it. So like, why would I even care to pretend to help when it's like clearly you don't want to help yourself?
You know what? That was a real breath of fresh air, Alyssa. Like, sometimes I give advice or whatever, then you do see people who like they don't be doing nothing different. That's how I always knew. Even where you are right now, even that wasn't your situation maybe a while ago, whatever, it seems that your heart is always in the right place. And I saw that and I was like, you got it. I've been in those shoes where I'm just not confident sometimes, or like I second guess myself and I won't do that because it's like all these different emotions and people live in my head. But I'm like, you got it. Just like I have work to do. I'm like, but now I'm saying, sis, say it.
Right, I have work to do.
And then period. And I'm like, you're freeing yourself, because like I said, sometimes work means a negative connotation. I'm like, get that out. Just the fact that you were acting on it right away. That's what I'm saying. The universe, even how it went so quickly, because you authentically wanted to change. You authentically wanted to move into the new space. But also give yourself some credit too, of saying like, no, because you wanted it as well. You wanted to get there, and I felt that we were crying, girl. We were going crazy. Why can't I do it? Why can't I believe in myself? It's like, I know. But I was like, girl, just show up for yourself. Yeah. That was my liberation, even, you know, getting out Fun Fabulous with the winter launch with Rista by K, which is like, we gotta show up for ourselves. And once you do that, it's like, you become confident. Don't you feel like another level of confidence of just like, man, I did that. We could do that. We set a date. That was one of the things we did too. We were conversating, and then we set the date. And after that, we were just working from there. We were like December 18th. Then out of nowhere, everything just started. We getting it out that day.
Right. You definitely just said a huge piece of advice and good information. So anybody watching, set a date. Setting that date puts that pressure on yourself, but that excitement on yourself too, to be like, okay, boom, we got 2 weeks. Okay,
that's
we gotta
right.
knock it out.
That's right.
So yes, that is a major key.
Yes, definitely.
Well, to put the spotlight on my girl Heeey over there in the corner. How you feeling, girl? What's on your mind?
I'm definitely feeling good. I'm just taking in a lot of just information and just hearing you guys talk, because it definitely can be applied to, you know, just my life, and especially like the area that I am in now. About to graduate from high school and then transitioning to getting ready for college, and just that whole process of holding yourself accountable, especially with like scholarships and just work and just everything else I'm doing. So it's like, I think with me, I'm just learning to balance all of that. Balance knowing that, yes, I need to be thinking 2 steps ahead every time, but also at the same time, be okay with, you know, being in your time, being okay with what you're doing right now, and know what you're doing right now is okay for you, because that's going to look different for everybody. There's no blueprint of, at this age, in this day of time, if you haven't accomplished X, Y, and Z, you're not going to be successful. Or, you know, if you haven't done this, that, the third, then what are you really doing with your life? And I feel like that's so easy to, you know, sort of just think about, especially with social media. I think just listening to you guys, it was sort of more just, I was reflecting within, you know, I'm like, okay, that's true, or I can relate to that, or okay, how can I apply that to, you know, my life? And, you know, I hear it, but it's just a matter of holding yourself accountable. And I think that's one thing I probably do struggle with sometimes. I'll get through a phase where I'm really on it, like I'm really getting stuff done, and then it's like, I can't say I get overwhelmed like pretty fast. So it's like, I like to stay busy, I like having a lot on my plate, but then at the same time, there's a moment where I'm like, okay, stop, like everyone leave me alone, I don't want to do anything no more, like why is this all coming at me? But then it's weird, because when I get in that phase and then I'm like on chill mode, then I'm like, I need to get busy again. You know, what is that, you know, I guess that next journey, that next step for me gonna look like?
Hi, girl. Like, you're executing it so nicely that those moments of like pause, value those, and like take that time and like, yes, I need this, and I am doing stuff. I'm self-growing and I'm self-caring, and that right there is enough. Like, I'm just so proud of you too for everything that you are doing, because you got it going on, girl. You really do. It's like to see you so passionate and so motivated, but still like on like grind level, but growth level of like, yes, I want to grind, but I'm still down to like try new things and figure out, you know, what I like, and not just kind of be in this stuck bubble. It's like so nice to see, you know, because there's so many young girls out there that are going to gain so much inspiration from you, you know, just from like your style, your beauty, but then your aura and like your intelligence behind all of that, and your creativeness. Like, it's amazing.
I really wasn't like this until probably like last year. I mean, of course, I was always creative, and I kind of knew I wanted to do something. But literally before this, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people can relate to it, it's like, you don't know what to do. Like for me, I've always, you know, I had different talents, but it was more so, I would do it for 2 weeks, you know, get it going, and I'm like, I'm not doing that no more. In my communication, I still gotta work on it, but you know, even back then, it was bad. I may have had ideas, but I wasn't really so coming out, you know, to my family all the time, like, this is exactly what I want to do, you know, here you guys, here are my ideas and my plans and thoughts. I would sort of just keep everything in and expect it to just work. So even with you just saying that, I definitely can relate, because I was literally the same exact way. Just between that self-battle of, even though it looks good on the outside, like, okay, she got her hair business going on, but inside, literally every time I'm in my room, or, you know, I'm doing something with school, or I'm going on social media, I'm always thinking about, like, am I doing enough? Like, what am I doing? Like, what is it really that I'm trying to accomplish? Am I going to be successful? Is it going to be this, that, the third? So it's like, I feel like it's a stage we never really grow out of, but we continue to build. It was a poem. It's like, life is not a crystal staircase. And it's true. It's not, you know, it's not pitch perfect. You're going to have, you know, some nails up in the stairs. You're going to have some broken stairs. You're going to have to repair and reclimb again. I really feel like that's just a good representation of what life is, because it's not perfect. Also, I've been reflecting on my name, Heeey, which means life.
And I feel like that's such a good, perfect name for me. Like, I'm hallelujah. You know, in a world where we're so pressured to feel like everything has to be together, you have to be perfect. I'm like, life is not perfect. Life is not a one straight road. You know, it's all over the place. You know, it's dark times, it's good times, it's the highs, the lows, it's the constant overthinking, but it's also the proud moments where you feel like just on top of the world, but it's also the moments where you feel like the world is on your shoulders and you have to carry so much. But that's what makes life so beautiful.
Right now, what we could do, share our pieces.
The theme was what, peace?
Yes.
Right? Okay, so these are things that are bringing me peace right now. Is my faith. Creating as of recently, thanks to y'all, like I kind of got inspired to, you know, start creating. Of course, learning, graduating from college, I mean, just being a student of life. And then forgiveness. I'm learning how to, you know, forgive people and myself and, you know, things that I've gone through in my life. That's also peaceful because it's holding me accountable to certain things that I may have done wrong. And it's like self-healing for me to just be like, okay, this is where you went wrong. Now, you know, you need to move on. You need to, you know, do this and do that. But also forgiving relationships, parents, whatever. And then I put my mom and dad on here. Love, of course. Learning how to love others enough to understand that sometimes you're going to have to give yourself to take care of other people. In times where it seems like you want to be selfish, but I feel like that's where you have to like dig that love out of you enough to be like, I have to, you know, look after this person and take care of this person out of the love of my heart. At the same time, it's like it's helping me grow because I feel like as young people, we're so selfish sometimes and we're just all about me. Especially like at my age, when I'm trying to start my life and do certain things, and it's like, if I'm having to give so much of myself to you, that's taking away from what I'm trying to do for myself. That's where the love comes in. I feel like because that's kind of what I've been going through. I've been kind of giving myself to my family and not really putting that energy towards myself. I tried to find a different avenue for me to look at it. Because I could sit here and say, I don't want to do this, you know, I want to focus on myself, but it's like, no, I love you, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm definitely glad that we got to do this because it helped me get a lot of stuff out and just to like put it on something, really just express like how I've been feeling about things. Like it's just helping me a lot. So yeah, that's really where my piece was coming from.
Okay, no, that's beautiful. That's really
Yes,
beautiful.
Ashe. Each word you said, I mean, because you know, like our relationship, so it's like coming at me like, ooh, yes,
Right.
you know. So I see those words like in experience, you know, by knowing you. So I'm proud of you and I'm happy for that. Yeah, so for me, just show you guys my little painting right here.
Okay.
Yes, I am recognizing I do like stuff to be in patterns. And have some type of organizational structure to it. It's calming for me in this space because it's not like I know it's a rubric of how it's supposed to go. So even though it's funny to see in this space I am still organized, it's still good to know like I am not trying to match something that says you have to do it like this. This makes me happy. I'm glad how I do this. Like, I didn't know what I was gonna do. I know we were talking about peace, but I think just letting things flow. So that's kind of why I also made the little waves in my painting, just like letting life flow, you know, just taking it where it needs to go. I also have very vibrant colors because like I said, as I'm going into this confidence part of my life, and I agree with my mother saying it's different phases you go into, because I had a confidence in high school. When I got to college, it was a different type of confidence I had to get to. Now I'm after college, it's a different type of confidence I got to get to. So growing in that, but I feel like it's a very vibrant and good time in my life to grow. We got the green going, growth, wealthy mindset, okay. Got some blue, you know what I'm saying? H2O, hydration.
Okay,
Keep that skin clear.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
And the yellow for me represents a little bit the sun. My name means the dawn, the breaking dawn, like, you know, living off my name. And I feel like not only for myself, I feel like I'm motivating myself, but it's just so much people I see, I radiate. And I feel like that's what God is showing me too, is like, even though I'm doing my thing, it's great to see how much people can benefit from the light that I have. So just kind of owning that, you know, owning my position in this family, in my life. I think that's still building off of that confidence, because I sometimes would shelter away of who I am just because I don't see it around too much. But when I started like looking at other people that aren't as normal, like Michael Jordan, how do people that have like great impact like deal with that, because sometimes you can feel out of place. So just kind of looking to other great people and using that in my life and to say, hey, I can do that. And then pink is one of my favorite colors. Fun, Fit, Fabulous, pink makes me happy. Tying it back to just my piece of confidence, there was a time where somebody made me feel like pink wasn't cool anymore. So I had to reclaim, no, I still love pink. So it's like, I'm not about to alter to you. So that's me reclaiming my peace and confidence as well. So yeah, even though it's kind of simple, but at the same time, it was just great to know that these colors too, as I was flowing through, meant something.
The painting that I drew is colorful background with a heart and some stars. What brings me peace is love. Love for me can be as simple as a hug or even just seeing a dog. That's why I drew the big heart. But as far as the colorful background goes, like, I just feel like for me, like, I just love color. I'm not really simple. You know, I'm just kind of like, like all over the place, but it's still like, you know, has a place. For me, the colorfulness and the vibrancy, like that always brings me back to, okay, like I know what I'm doing, I know, you know, where we're going, and I feel like eased inside. And the stars for me just represented like the sky, just looking up, looking ahead, always just moving forward, you know, pushing to that next destination, pushing to that next goal, whatever it is. That's really just where my heart was at the whole time, and just my mind, just hearing everybody's stories, hearing everybody's advice, just giving me feedback.
That's lovely.
I see that for you. I definitely feel like with your personality, having love in your life, I think also too allows you to align right into what you want to do. I say honor that, because, you know, like that's not even in a lot of us, our conversations. Having love is one of the greatest gifts. So the fact that that means a lot to you and keeps you at peace, like that's a beautiful thing to have.
Thank you, girl.
So my painting just was a little remembrance for me. This takes me back to a childhood space that's peaceful for me, helping to remember my why. I used to draw rainbows a lot as a kid, but I haven't really drawn anything really a lot since childhood too. Whenever you would do any little thing, you know, it just takes you back to that space for me. Doing the little bit of stuff the kids would do, you know, if I had to help them color something, you know, I always go right back to my childhood. But my childhood was a good space, so that's where I was centered with all of the love and expectation. That was really important, and all of my family, you know, really believed in me, everybody, so I knew I had something to do. Of course, when the rainbows come, you know, of course you've had the rain, and you know, and you see that little sign they say. So this symbol actually too is so funny because it's gotten so hijacked, you know, rainbows got so hijacked with sexual orientation culture, and that irritates me. You know, so it took me a lot to even say, if I'm gonna draw this, right? Because this symbol means something else now because other people have taken it to be what they want it to be. But then I made a decision, you know, that I'm not gonna allow that to disrupt my peace, right? You have the rainbow, you got so many colors, so much different situations and stuff like that. And also I added a sun, and also I pulled in just a couple symbols of an elephant and butterflies. Because my mom used to keep those things around the house for us. And those were her favorite things. And so when I keep those things around me to remember, and for her, and actually also the sun was yellow. That was her favorite color. I guess, you know, yellow just because that meant life, you know, and that whole vibrancy. And now we got higher life, you know, Fajr, the dawn, you know, so those things incorporated. And for elephants, those were her favorite animals, and she used to keep little statues and stuff on her dresser and stuff, I think more so for strength. As she would say, the butterfly, we used to have those. She used to wear jewelry with the butterfly and also had them on the walls. Butterflies are like transformation. You know, the idea is that a butterfly, you know, starts off as a caterpillar. And it doesn't even know it has a destiny, you know, that's bigger than that. She used to keep those symbols around, and I just, you know, just watch it as a child, even realizing later, you know, when you go through life, then you can see the value of that remindance in nature. And we all have a destiny that's bigger than us, right? And so, you know, and again, you just crawling around like a little worm, you know what I mean? And you don't even know. So we kind of keep us with hope to keep crawling, you know, till you can get to the cocoons and shelter yourself. and blossom. This is my hope. I mean, my center, again, and my peace is, and helps me stay mindful of my why. And that's really just taking me back to my beginning, you know, for me as a young girl.
I love it. Thank you so much for getting so deep like that, because that like just really helped me understand like where you come from, you know, and like why your heart is just so pure. So it was so beautiful just to listen to that story, and I love it because, you know, the rainbow, even for me, it does symbolize that just happiness, you know, and that vibrancy. And even with the rain, you know, there's always going to be that rainbow on the other side. And that stands for so much, you know, and that's you. That is you, like vibrant no matter what is thrown at you, no matter what tribulation or, you know, ridiculousness that the world throws at you. You always have this big old light about you, and you know, you have the strength and you have that transformation constantly going on, like the way you raise your kids, the way you just raise yourself and handle yourself, and taking in other people and, you know, handling them and helping them. It's just like everything about you is this, and I just feel like that is such a good representation of your piece and just who you are as a person. So I want to give you a hug because I just feel so blessed to have you.
Literally make me cry over here. Like, oh,
Wait, can I just say something?
Yes,
okay,
please.
so this is how I feel. Okay, so I know how you have the whole like conspiracy about like Father being like grandma, but I think it's you.
It's all in us. You guys are just grandmas in training. You know, I mean, you got to know where you come from. It's who we are, and it's something that we all have to embrace in ourselves. You know, because this is just the type of, you know, experience of the people we come from. You know, my mother came from very loving parents, and they were really giving people. My grandfather is everything, you know, and he taught me so many things about life. Our people were good people, you know, and that's why we have to have dignity in everything we do, and, you know, responsibility in everything we do, because you come from something great. I don't know why everybody doesn't always understand that, you know, that you don't just do things just to be doing things. You got to be thinking before you do stuff, because you have to represent yourself. Just come from, you know, people who just wanted so much good and helping people and just trying to be better people and supporting each other and stuff like that. And he already had, you know, we talked about those things, and he identified that's who I am too, you know. So it's just what we have to do, and it's not anything in pretend. It's genuine love, you know, that, you know, we have to be here for each other.
Thank you.
Love you.
I love you too. I really do. And you know, I feel like you've done such a great job raising girls, and you know, having Kai here too, and now me. I just feel like we're gonna be good. You know, we're gonna be so good, and I think like our bond is just so tight that as we get older, like I know we're gonna have each other's backs, and I know that you're always gonna be there for us. So I just can't wait to kind of continue to watch us grow, and you know, we all know like we got each other. You know, let's continue to be real with each other. Let's continue to do things like this. If we need to have these paint sessions more often, let me know, because I'm always down to just set it up. You know, or always down to be like, okay, let's hop on FaceTime, y'all. Let's talk. Let's paint real quick. Let's draw. Let's do something, because it's like moments like these are important. We all have our own stories, and it's important to share it just for a reminder of like, okay, I know where this started from. You know, I'm not gonna like pretend like I don't know or whatever. It's like, no, I'm just gonna deal with it and I'm gonna paint it. Sometimes things are hard to like talk about, but it's like paintings like this and paintings like this and all of yours, that right there says a lot.
I just want to say for Mom, it was beautiful just now. I just feel like, you know, you just had a revelation. I felt like you just said like one thing that I think I'll always remember, even if you're gone from this life, of what you want from us and expect from us. And I feel like it's important for, you know, those that are older, for you to at least verbalize that, because as young people, we're always looking, what is that? What is that thing we're supposed to carry? What is that thing we're supposed to carry as a family? And I feel like Kai, Haya, Alyssa, like we're now getting that message. Like we may have with the fact that you're like always like, okay, you do that with Kai or you do that with Alyssa. Like it seems like, okay, this is going to be our strength. This is going to be the thing. So like I feel like just even with these things, like we know it works. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like thank you for at least expressing that. Also, just as your daughter and somebody growing, you have been given an amazing responsibility.
I'm proud of you so much. And who I am,
without you, who I am in the world. It's because I saw a mother who never gave up. I saw a mother who made something of nothing. The elephant you painted, I remember. I remember you made us libraries and told us about college. Even Dad of high school wasn't it, college was it, and here I am, the Bill Gates scholar. Because you guys opened my imagination. As I'm traveling this road that I don't know, I'm just very grateful that God and I chose to come through you guys' vessels, because who I am is nothing without you. And I just honor you, but I just know I appreciate you and who I am. It's because you raised me and you make our whole lives beautiful. And like a rainbow, when we get dirt, you somehow turn it to crystals and sunshine. You make it work. So you are a miracle worker. I thank you. I hear you, and just know that, you know, it may look like we're not listening, but one day it's going to click. And I just want to say thank you, and I love you.
It's a crime session.
Yeah, you guys are my motivation. You want to know how do I do what I do? It's because, you know, you guys are my why. My grandfather told me the last conversations we had before he died that my children had the promise. How can I stop? You know, I can't stop. If I had to come all the way from Malaysia to go to San Francisco to visit him, for him to give me those messages, you know, I didn't know he was going to tell me all this stuff. Because he looked away and he saw maybe that I was going to have some obstacles down the line or whatever, I don't know. He didn't tell me what he saw. He just looked sad. He just said, don't worry, your children are going to have the victory. That means that in order for, you know, that to be fulfilled, I can't give up, right? So I have to keep moving, because everything in life is you just have to keep moving. You can't get stuck. And even though we're doing things a little, you know, unconventional in some cases, you know, maybe some family or friends don't understand, you know, don't worry about my house. You know what I mean? Because this is how we love. This is what we need right now for us to love and be healed and whole, you know. So, you know, other people, oh, well, at 18, the kid's got to leave, you know what I mean, or whatever. And that, you know what I mean? And I understand responsibility and all that. We're not negating that. But this is how we're going to love. It's about being brave enough to embrace all of that.
The world is hard, but it's so much easier when you know you can like go out there and deal with the hard stuff, but come home and now everybody can just kind of share like, girl, did you know, da-da-da-da, and it's like, yeah, girl, I seen it, and then it's like, but you're still at this safe space, you know, instead of just being by yourself. You make me feel so at home, and I'm here. I'm so happy though in this moment where it's like I'm not in this rush of like, oh no, I gotta hurry up and get out, you know. It's like, no, I'm at peace right now. I love that I get to really get to know everybody, and everything that you want for us, I know for a fact I'm gonna hold up to that, because that's what I've always wanted, you know, regardless. So it makes me feel really good to know like everybody's on that same board, so you know when it comes time to it, like business is gonna get done.
That's so interesting for me too, because y'all know me, y'all know I'm an introvert. Not really, but like when it comes to household stuff, I'm always like found in my room. I think when I went to Baltimore, that's when it kind of like hit me a little bit of how much like my family, because at first I was like, oh, I'm gonna go there, I'm not calling them, you know, unless it's like my mom was like, okay, I made it, I'm gonna call you when I need to get on the plane. Soon as I got up there, I was like, you know, I'm just calling down. I'm like, what y'all doing? Like, what you doing? I'm like, where's my mom at? Where's that? You know? The next day, I'm like, okay, that was just one time. Girl, the day after, I was just in bed. I was like, let me call them. You know, what are they doing and stuff like that. Even though I do like my personal space, I think now that I'm growing older, I'm so appreciative of the family love that we have. You know, just growing up, of course, it wasn't easy all the time, but I've always remembered that close-knit bond between, like, my siblings and my family. There's countless memories I can remember of us doing something or us making the best out of nothing, or, you know, us being so creative. Like, a lot of people are missing that, and some of the people, you know, they had the materialistic stuff as a kid and everything, but they're missing the love and they're missing the nurturing. So I didn't finish mine, but it's mine. Well, really, I thought of a shower. Okay. So I thought of blue. That's why I didn't know. No, because
That's where all my water went.
it's on me. I think I find the best peace sort of when I'm reflecting with myself, because that's when you can get, I feel like, your purest reflection of what you're trying to do. I think with the person who I am, like just in moments where you're forced to be with yourself, your true self, not the self that you get to put on, you know, when you step outside the door or you step outside your room. You can always portray what you want to portray. When you're with yourself, it's like everything comes to light. Everything is shown. You can't hide nothing from yourself. When I say be your peace, it's like be your own personal support system of happiness in the purest energy that you can provide. Because I can always step outside and be like, yeah, it's positive energy, radiant, da 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 da. But inside, I can feel so toxic. Until you are your source of peace from within, to me, nothing's really going to be the way you want it to be. Because it's always going to have a different form of energy within yourself. And you're always going to feel that. You know, you're going to get tired of acting. You're going to get tired of portraying what you want to be. It's like until you try to be that within yourself first and actually try to implement that, like first manifestation, but then also putting action behind actually bettering yourself, then I feel like you're never going to really have that true peace. So that's why I said be your own peace, because I feel like that's so important. It ties into confidence. You got to be your own source of having that confident factor. You got to be your own hustler. You got to be your own motivational factor. Like, yes, you pull on sources outside of yourself, but it has to come within first. Right. And then you pull on everything else. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And you're definitely right about that. That was kind of key for me, definitely going through just my big transition overall of just becoming who I am now, is finding that inner light and that inner peace of like, okay, I'm starting to hug myself, trying to love myself. Now we can go out into the world and share that.
Well, let's all hold each other's hands around the table.
Yes.
What are Elizabeth by K?
Okay. I just want to say thank you again, Alyssa, for, you know, manifesting this for us, and like how we did not know how this was going to start off, but this was so beautiful and healing, you know, and I appreciate having you guys in my life and being here in this moment. And like how I said, girl, you need to come down here. Let me know. You said word. I said, girl, it's nothing but things. Right. So the fact that, you know, you picked the date and it ended up being even DTFS the day before, so just being here and just such a big moment. But I just want to let you know I'm happy to be here for you in this moment. And girl, like I said, it's nothing but a thing, and I'm honored to be here. And you know, I'm just also glad as I'm growing how I'm showing up for my family. You know, and I value what you're doing, and I see what you're doing, and I hope that's what you see too. Because like I said, I'm in New York, yeah, whatever. But what do you need, sis? You know what I'm saying? So also, I'm proud as a woman. I'm growing. It's like I'm showing up for my family, and that's something that I do honor, because that is my heart. You know. That is my heart. So I love you. I appreciate you, and thank you again for sharing this gift with us.
No, thank you, ladies, so much. Thank you, Father. Like I don't want to cry again. But, right. No, I appreciate you all. Like I was just telling you guys, like, this is what means a lot to me. You know, like this is this source of like peace. It's things like this where it's like, I know for me, I like to do this, and that's my inner peace. But having my girls, you know, show up for me too, and being like, girl, we got you. You know, we got you. We will paint with you. Like that right there is like what love is all about, and I cherish this moment.
Regardless of this video, and you guys to like be the first ones to like feel where I'm coming from with this. We're getting deep, and like now we really know, you know, each other on another level. I just feel like that's what this whole paint and grow is really all about.
To touch and agree on this paint and grow project, that it be blessed beyond the borders and reach people just like it reached us today. You have such a great personality for this. This your thing.
She's from Oakland, y'all. No.
Right.
Point blank, period. You know, this is it. You know, we already experienced it. It's real. It works. It brings us in our authentic selves. You're onto something great. And we just know it's going to help heal women and young girls. So y'all better get up on it. As you continue to touch other women beyond us, you know, we're here for you and supporting their transformation. And, you know, it starts with the women. We get our women healed, we can heal a nation. Because we've been wounded and we've been hurt. Very important work. Because it's a type of a spiritual work. It's authentic. So see it, we receive it, and we know you're going to be good with it.
And we believe it.
Thank you. Okay, yes, thank you.
Yes. It's the knowing for me.
Yeah. Okay. Like I said, I just appreciate you guys so much for being here, and thank you for getting in depth of sharing your projects with me and, you know, the world. And
Going into this next week, I hope that everyone has a blissful week. I hope that whatever it is that's on your mind, I hope it's at ease. I hope it's at peace. Have this as a reminder. Honestly, for me, I love to hang my artwork so I can visually feel good about myself, knowing like, okay, I did that. That's a reminder to myself that I am great, and they're reminders of who I am inside. I do feel like if you hung these up, it will mean a lot more too. Even at this moment of like feeling this at peace and this mindfulness, I think if you hang it up though, you can always come back to this moment.
And in the words of my grandmother and my grandfather too, their words was Heeey.
Heeey!
Hugging yourself and loving yourself. Ooh.
Yes, I feel it.
Well, how I always end the videos with a